Hi everyone, it's me. I just thought I'd make you a video. I thought it would be a whole lot easier for me to communicate to all of you at once without a lengthy email that you probably wouldn't want to read. So let's get right to it. First of all, we've just hired an audio, video, and lighting director. His name is Rick Sabin. Some of you may have met him over the last few weeks. He's been around the church for the last few months, applied for the position, went through all the hurdles. And technically he just got hired on Monday, and his start date is July 15th. I'm going to make sure, as Rick and I get together, to arrange a time for all of you to meet him, maybe sit down and have a meal together. This is for all the audio, video, and lighting guys, the tech crew, to sit down with him to ask you questions, you to ask him questions, and us really just kind of have a nice, successful start to his employment with Academy Christian Church. He will also be handling things at West Side and every other thing, audio, video, and lighting in the building. I'm excited to have him. If you haven't met him, he's a great guy, lovely to work with, and I'm really, really excited to have him. So look forward, tech people, to getting an invite to some type of event so you can get to know Rick. Everything is moving along with West Side. We are looking at a launch sometime in or after November. There's also construction and different things that has to go on, and everybody's looking, but we are still moving forward with that. You know, we own now 2 properties on the other side of the church. Just bought a house kind of southeast of the property. We just took possession of that home, and of course, you know, we own the property where the crack house used to be. So we have all of that, and everything's moving along just great. It's kind of beautiful to see, man, how God is advancing Academy so quickly. There was like this season where we were praying and nothing was happening, and now there's this huge explosion of activity. I'm speaking of activity next week, or it's going to be this weekend. I'm hoping to send you out today, but this weekend we're doing a big push for volunteers, and so it's called Be the Game Changer. You're going to see videos, and for the next 3 weeks we're going to have people signing up, and then we're going to have those opportunities, things out in the lobby, a booth out in the parking lot. Even though we're going to be doing things from video and inside the worship center, one of the best thing you guys could do is, if you know somebody, suggest or invite them to volunteer for the worship team, because we've got West Side coming up. We need other leaders, other musicians, other tech, lots of people to go over and help with those services while continuing to have a very well-attended, well-stocked, well-staged people in Academy North. So asking is the best way. It's always proven that a personal ask really helps. So if you know of somebody who's a musician or a singer or runs tech, personally invite them to come and volunteer for the church. Not only is it good, for the church for that stuff to happen, but it's a way for people to develop relationships and community when you're volunteering. So suggest that, ask that, put that out there, and you're going to see a lot about that over the next 3 weeks. So in addition to that, as we're going forward, we're thinking about doing some stage changes. If you haven't seen them, the singers now are all wireless. I had 5 wireless packs put on the stage that no longer connected to your unit by a string. You're actually freed up, and you actually have a wireless pack just like I as a leader have, or when Dana's leading. Usually Christy's wired in, Kevin's usually wired in, but if you see me and Dana, we have that pack on our back. So you might have to address the way you dress a little bit, because you need to have something to hang it on. But for those singers, I think it's great. The units are now positioned back by the baptistry. They do not move. So make sure that you are getting truly accustomed to working with your personal monitor. Can't be running back and forth to go fix your monitor in the middle of a song or in between songs or anything like that. It's going to be one and done. So make sure that you get very familiar with that, because we don't want to be a distraction to the congregation. Speaking of being a distraction to the congregation, here very shortly this summer we're going to start recording our services. We're going to record them video-wise so that we're able to start editing and creating some atmosphere, looking how our stage looks on video, because those things are going to be recorded and taken over to West Side. So we're trying to perfect that look, see what everything looks like, see how it's presented. And so this is going to be a great opportunity. So we don't know what we look like when we're worshiping and we're singing, but you're about to. because we're going to actually take a look at ourselves and see how we're presenting worship to the congregation and to other people. And it is actually a very useful tool for us. I've been wanting to do it for a while and just haven't had time. But now that Rick is into place and there's other leaders into place, I can actually record us and we can begin to perfect how we present ourselves. Now, yes, we are worshiping. Yes, worship is the main thing, but we have to be aware of what we look like and what we're doing and how we're leading our congregation. So on that note, you're going to have to do something and to have to learn something that's very, very important. When we as a team make mistakes, and we do make mistakes, and as we as a team are making adjustments or doing things, you have got to make sure that you don't point it out with your face or actions. This is something that all of us do a lot. You guys know me, this says absolutely everything. And now I have to control that too. And so you need to make sure that when someone makes a mistake or something happens that you don't expect, or if you don't know what's going on, that you don't sit there and go, "What's going on? I don't know. Who hit that note? Shut it down." You know, all those faces that would indicate to other people that we just screwed it up. We know we screwed it up, but 90% of the time, the people out in the congregation don't know we screwed it up. And we don't want your face to tell them that we did. And that's also a skill that we're going to have to learn going forward as we're being recorded to help out Westside. So start thinking about stuff like that. Start thinking about, again, 4Bs are going to apply for ladies, men too, I guess. No butts, boobs, bellies, or back all summer long. Be aware of how you dress. You know, if we're going to wear tights, we'd wear clothes that drop below those tights, or leggings, or however you want to say, so that your backside isn't the most featured thing. Anyway, so that's something we'll have to start thinking about. You'll start hearing more about transitions in between songs, doing things smoother. We as a staff have to make sure too we're talking out those services a little bit so we know what comes next and how we're running efficiently. So that is about it for now. I'm going on 7 minutes and I didn't want it to take this long, but aren't you glad I didn't write all this in an email? Love you guys. It's a privilege to serve with you. Let's just keep going. Forgive all the times that I said, as I didn't write everything down. I was just thinking. But let's continue to worship the Lord not only in church, but out of church, so that we bring our relationship with Him to that platform and ask our congregation to come with us. Love you guys. See you this weekend, next weekend, future weekends. Have a great night.